In December 1900, 3 lighthouse keepers disappeared from a remote Scottish island. The table was set, the clock had stopped, and the light had gone out. Before we examine this enduring case, subscribe to Infinity for more documented mysteries, historical investigations, and unexplained events presented with facts and depth. Click the bell icon and share this episode to bring more attention to real historical enigmas. The Flannan Isles are a small group of uninhabited islands located about 32 kilometers west of the Isle of Lewis in Scotland's Outer Hebrides. Their primary purpose in 1900 was to host the recently completed Flannan Isles Lighthouse, constructed in 1899 to improve safety in a hazardous North Atlantic shipping lanes. The lighthouse was staffed by 3 men: Principal Keeper James Duckett, Second Assistant Thomas Marshall, and Occasional Keeper Donald MacArthur, who was temporarily assigned to replace the regular assistant. These keepers followed a standard rotation system. A 4th keeper remained on shore to rotate in when the relief ship arrived, typically every 2 weeks, depending on weather conditions. On December 15, 1900, a passing ship reported that the light was functioning normally. After that, no further sightings were confirmed. Severe winter storms delayed the scheduled relief vessel, Hesperus, until December 26. Upon approach, the ship's crew observed that the lighthouse was dark, with no flag hoisted and no response to their signals. Joseph Moore, the relief keeper, went ashore to investigate. He found the entrance unlocked and the interior deserted. 2 sets of oilskin coats were missing, indicating 2 men had gone outside. 1 coat remained inside. The kitchen contained a meal left uneaten. The clock had stopped, beds were unmade, and the light had been extinguished. A search of the island revealed damage at the west landing, bent railings, displaced ropes, and a supply box that had been torn from its position, approximately 33 meters above sea level. There were no footprints, no signs of forced entry, and no human remains. The 3 men had disappeared without leaving physical evidence of their fate. This incident became known as the Flannan Isles Lighthouse Mystery and prompted an official investigation. Superintendent Robert Muirhead of the NorthernLighthouseBoard conducted the inquiry in late December 1900 and January 1901. He had personally recruited the missing men and was familiar with the operational procedures of the station. His inspection confirmed the west landing damage. He concluded that the keepers likely went out to secure equipment during a storm. The prevailing theory was that a large wave, possibly a rogue wave, struck while they were working outside, sweeping them into the sea. The official logbook entries raised questions. Written by Marshall, they described unusually severe winds on December 12th and 13th, with severe winds the likes of which I have never seen before. One entry mentioned that MacArthur was crying, which was considered uncharacteristic for a man known for resilience. The final entry was made on December 15th, after which there was no record. Meteorological reports from nearby locations did not indicate a storm of the scale described in the log. The inquiry noted this discrepancy but found no evidence of foul play. No external persons were reported in the vicinity, and the island was inaccessible during the period due to rough seas. The lighthouse manual required that at least 1 keeper remain indoors at all times. Why all 3 would have left simultaneously remains unexplained. No signs of conflict or forced evacuation were found. Tools and furniture were undisturbed, suggesting no struggle occurred inside the lighthouse. The report concluded that the disappearance was accidental, caused by an overwhelming sea during an attempt to secure the landing equipment. The case was closed in January 1901, but the lack of definitive evidence allowed speculation to persist. Over the decades, numerous theories have been proposed. The most widely accepted involves rogue waves, which have since been documented in the North Atlantic through satellite data and oceanographic research. A rogue wave, rising up to 30 meters high, could plausibly reach the west landing platform and sweep away multiple men at once. Another hypothesis considers the psychological strain of isolation. The Flannan Isles were known for harsh conditions, prolonged solitude, and limited communication. Stress-related errors in judgment are documented in similar remote postings. The log entries suggesting emotional distress support the possibility that the keepers were operating under heightened anxiety or fatigue. Foul play theories, including interpersonal violence or mutiny, remain speculative. No physical evidence has supported such claims, and all 3 men had satisfactory service records. Supernatural explanations, though popular in folklore, lack any empirical basis. Reports of ghostly figures or cursed lands are derived from local legends predating the lighthouse. Recent studies by forensic meteorologists suggest that a phenomenon known as a downburst, a sudden strong downward air current, may have created local storm force winds without being widely recorded elsewhere. Such an event could explain the damage to the landing and the urgency to secure loose equipment, leading all three men outside at once. Infrasound theories, involving low-frequency vibrations causing unease or panic, have also been discussed, though no direct evidence links them to this incident. Despite various models and simulations, no theory has conclusively accounted for every detail, particularly why no traces of the men were ever recovered. After the disappearance, the Flannan Isles lighthouse was staffed continuously until automation in 1971. No similar incidents occurred during that time. The families of the missing keepers received compensation, but the lack of physical remains prevented formal burial rites. Memorials exist on the Isle of Lewis and in local church records. The case has been referenced in maritime safety training as an example of why adherence to protocol is critical, especially in hazardous weather conditions. From a technical standpoint, improvements in weather forecasting, communication systems, and structural reinforcements have reduced similar risks for modern lighthouse operations. Archaeological surveys of the island have revealed no additional evidence. The sea caves near the West Landing remain dangerous and have not yielded any remains or artifacts related to the incident. While folklore continues to surround the event, modern interpretations focus on environmental hazards rather than supernatural causes. Maritime historians generally agree that the disappearance was most likely accidental, caused by extreme weather phenomena combined with human error. The case remains open in the public imagination because it illustrates the vulnerability of isolated posts before the era of radio communication and safety protocols. If you found this analysis informative, subscribe to Infinity, share this video with those interested in real historical investigations, and stay tuned for more evidence-based explorations of the world's unsolved events.